Hey everyone, today the Copies of Copies challenge went live, which is the second Deep Stone Crypt Raid challenge, this one taking place in the Atraks encounter. This challenge is extremely easy and thankfully doesn't extend the fight at all. For Copies of Copies, it's recommended that you one-phase Atraks to make this challenge as easy as possible. The goal of the Copies of Copies challenge is to not eject any replication orbs during the entire encounter. This means that the operator should just avoid opening the airlocks altogether. In order to prevent your teammates from dying with the replication orbs, your team will need to juggle these buffs by having the operator occasionally refresh them in a safe spot. This will result in your team carrying 4 replication orbs at the same time and completing the encounter while holding all 4 of them. It's essentially a free challenge if your operator knows what you're doing and your team can do enough damage to one-phase the boss. If you don't end up one-phasing Atraks, you can still complete the challenge, however it's gonna be pretty chaotic. If you eject a player with an orb, or even all 4 players with the orbs at the same time, this will fail the challenge. And since you have to juggle these orbs, the easiest way to do that is to have players with the replication orbs stand in a safe corner with some cover every time you choose to refresh them, which I made sure to do shortly before each new damage phase. If the operator ends up with an orb, they can shoot it off their own head by using ricochet rounds, but it's easiest just to avoid doing that in the first place by jumping and swinging away from a replicant with your sword after it disappears. When you're finished using your heavy attack on a replicant, just turn around, jump, and swing to get out of the area where the orb drops pretty much immediately. While this doesn't guarantee that you won't get the orb because sometimes it does get launched and land on your head, I'd say about 90 to 95% of the time you can avoid getting it this way. As you probably can imagine, the best way to one-phase this without cheesing is with Lament and the Lucent Blade Charged with Light mod, as well as supers like Bubble, Well of Radiance, and Tether. Everything else in this encounter is the exact same, so execute it as you normally would, and that is it for the Copies of Copies challenge. If you'd like to support the channel, you can stick around and watch the rest of the footage. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next challenge video.